The Bible. It's 66 books of history, stories, letters, and poetry that fit together to form God's one big story. The epic adventure of how He created us and loves us so much that He made a way to rescue us. As we travel through the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, we discover people who met God and found their lives changed forever. Now, for an amazing story, inspired by the book of 1 Samuel, chapters 18 through 20.
Now imagine, for a moment, that you're a prince.
It's a pretty cool job.
Your father, King Saul, is a fierce and handsome warrior with a hot temper.
Away from me, you fools!
Saul is the first ever king over the land of Israel. And since you're his son, most people expect you to be the next king. You'll live in a fine palace, wear royal robes, and carry the best weapons. Your name is Jonathan.
Call me John.
You got a great life, right? But then your dad hires a new guy, a young man your age named David, who's only a shepherd boy. But somehow, through the power of God, David has just defeated the giant Goliath, saving God's people in the battle against the Philistines.
I come against you in the name of the Lord.
Your dad has given David a place to stay in the palace, in a high rank in the army. You and David even become friends. Now imagine that David fights in every battle and wins. The people of Israel are even more impressed with him than they are with King Saul.
King Saul is like great. Yeah, but have you seen David? He is like awesome sauce.
To top it off, you've heard rumors that David has actually been chosen by God to be the next king of Israel, instead of you. It would be so tempting to be jealous of David, to not talk to him or hang out with him. But that's not who Jonathan was. It's not what Jonathan did. In 1 Samuel, we discovered that instead of being jealous, Jonathan chose to share the best of what he had with his friend.
Here, take my robe. Then people will see how important you are.
Are you sure?
Take my belt, too, and my sword.
But these are all things for a prince.
You're worth it.
Thank you, friend.
King Saul, on the other hand, did become jealous. So jealous that he hurled a spear at David. And later on, he told Jonathan and all of his servants to kill David. Jonathan was horrified. He quickly warned his friend.
Find a place to hide. I'll talk to my father and find out what's going on.
The next morning, Jonathan faced King Saul.
Don't harm David. He's helped you. He put his own life in danger to kill Goliath. The Lord used him to win a great battle. Why would you kill him?
Okay, fine. I'll show you how awesome sauce I am by not putting David to death.
Jonathan and David were relieved. And for a short time, all was well. But then, King Saul went back on his word. He tried to kill David again. And when he failed, he sent other men to try to kill David.
I haven't done anything to your father. Why is he trying to kill me?
He won't do it. He tells me everything, and he hasn't said a word about hurting you.
That's because he knows we're friends, and you would tell me.
This is terrible. I'll do anything I can to help.
So the two friends made a really complicated plan, like something out of a spy movie. Their top secret plot had David hiding instead of showing up for the feast, while Jonathan made up this story to try to find out how angry his dad was. Now, instead of going outside and talking to David about it, Jonathan chose to shoot arrows close or far like a secret message. In the middle of it all, their friendship stayed strong.
Whatever happens, please be kind to me. I know the Lord will defeat all your enemies someday, but promise to always be kind to me and to all my family.
I promise.
Shake.
Shake.
The two young men made a promise to stay friends no matter what might happen next. Then, it was time to put their plan into action. When Saul discovered that David was missing, he was filled with rage.
I knew it! You're on his side. That is so not cool. As long as he's alive, you'll never be king.
Why do you want to put him to death? What has he done?
Saul was so angry, he couldn't think clearly. He actually threw a spear at his own son. Jonathan left immediately. And the next morning, he hurried to the place where David was hiding and sent their top secret arrow code message. When David realized things with the king were not good, the two friends ran to meet up. One last time.
I'm so sorry. My father.
I know. It's not your fault.
Jonathan and David hugged each other and wept.
Go in peace. In the name of the Lord, we've promised to be friends. He will be a witness between us and our families forever.
There was nothing more to say. David left the city to hide from Saul, and Jonathan went home. Now, Jonathan could have allowed Saul to kill David and maybe become king himself. But instead, Jonathan trusted God and chose to protect and love his friend.